Hello, welcome to our third watch party. We are really excited to share five wonderful artists with you tonight. Some from our formal showcases at NERFA last year, and some from the EPK program that we started sharing a couple months ago with Benny Blue, kicked it off for us. And we're going to keep going. We have on the NERFA YouTube channel over 100 hours of watched video associated with this stuff just last month. So we're really happy to keep that going. My name's Ethan Baird. I'm the executive director of NERFA. I'm here to introduce the artists and play the videos for you, but also let you know what's going on in the world of NERFA. We announced a new songwriting competition program today. Well, we announced it late last week, but it went live today. If you are registered for our conference, there is a for free. You can submit for a quarterly songwriting competition where the winners will get a myriad of wonderful things, gift certificates for instruments, a wonderful opportunity to be on an annual compilation disc that NERFA will pay to have printed and marketed, and rather not marketed, but rather promoted amongst the folk DJ community. So that is a wonderful program. And if you want to learn more about that, please go to nerfa.org. Again, the only prerequisite is that you are registered for the conference. To register for the conference, please go visit nerfaconference.org. You can also, want to be clear, you can register both in person and digital. So if you're saying there that I live in Australia and it's not likely I can make it to the conference, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to. You can register digitally and attend digitally and still apply for all of these wonderful programs. Well, enough about that stuff. Let's get into tonight. We're going to be sharing a bunch of wonderful videos, and we wanted to start out with, to me, one of the great surprises of last year. I love that with the formal showcase artists every year, I'm not involved in the judging at all. I have to reach out to everyone to get their information once the judges have chosen them, but it also means often I've never heard the artists. So it's always a bit of a gamble for me. I get to go to the conference and see how well we did. And this was one of those acts that I didn't understand because the act had a band name and the act is predominantly a single person, but a single person that can sound like a whole lot. So we're going to kick it off with one of my favorite surprises of this year, which is Youth in a Roman Field.
Thank you so much. It's 8 o'clock. Have you given it away? Erase the notes and the promise to behave. Once again, on the mend, play pretend, seasons endings. I might as well have gone to the movie. But at night, out by the lake in Medicine, the lights are twice as bright. The lights are twice as bright. Thank you so much. On the morning of the last day of your life, I will greet you, speak to you, say I'm glad you're healing and you're putting up a fight, and it'll pass. In the morning you will see that it has passed. I've been seeing that underneath it all I'm just afraid of joy, and I'm an addict to this feeling. It doesn't mean that I don't deserve to be loved, and it'll pass. Oh, I believe that it will pass. In the morning you will see that it has passed. Thank you so much. was a dream. I saw you, I saw you. Was it a dream? Have you been walking all night? Have you been listening all night? These days I wake in the night. Is it you just passing through? I greet you in putting up a fight. Doors open, I unfold for you. Have you been walking all night? Have you been listening all night? Are things in the footage? Use the mask, use the mask. Your letters, your turns of phrase. Sometimes they'll find me, they will. Oh, in the air or below the grave. Oh, handprints, hand sweats, footsteps, and steam. Where they've been walking all night. Where they've been listening all night. Where they've been walking all night. Have they been listening all night? Thank you so very much for having me. I'm Youth in a Roman Field. See you soon.
Claire,
Hi.
that was so much fun. I
I'm glad you
I
think so.
I adore. So I remember it was probably about, I want to say 15 years ago, when sort of loop pedals started appearing in folk music. I remember Jake Armerding, who's a fantastic fiddle player, started using it, and they kind of became gimmick things where someone would use it for
Right.
like a song in a set, and it was, I think, as I said before we played your video, I didn't see you coming. Like I didn't have a like I didn't know what was happening, and I had in my mind a band was going to be here, and then you came up with a fiddle on your own, and I was like, I'm just confused. But you did such wonderful things. I loved, and I apologize. Generally speaking, when people have misfires, we try to edit it out. However, when you had that little misfire at the beginning of the third song,
Oh, yeah.
a you recovered so well, and b you have a thing that I noticed when you played at the Nerfa Room at FAI. When
Mhm.
someone does something unexpected, you you smile in a way that is so reminiscent of Animal from the Muppets. It's almost like your lower jaw, it just goes, "Ah," and
Detaches?
it's
Yeah.
and you did it right there, and I was like, "I'm not getting rid of that."
Mhm.
It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
But thank
It's real
you.
life.
That was great. How was the experience of being there?
I had a wonderful time. I had been to Folk Alliance before, but never to NERFA, and it was really so nice to be there among so many people I recognized, either from Folk Alliance or like my like New York or Northeast kind of music community,
Mhm.
and a combination of online. Um, I really felt so excited to be there and so happy with how the experience went. Like when I reflected back on it, I really thought it was I had such a nice time.
It was great having you, and, Dan Godfrey, of course, is our treasurer and served on the board for the last 6 years, and, when we said that you were playing, he got real excited, so that was always uh, a great mark of, we were in for a good thing, but yeah, it was great having you, and I'm glad you had a good time, and I just sort of there was something I for me, that space is was so weird. Like, that hotel was so weird, not in a bad way at all, but, like,
Totally,
it's this haunted hotel that feels
totally.
very kinda shining-y.
Oh
It's
yeah,
got that vibe, and frankly, having a looped fiddle pedal or, just going that it there was something about sort of the not I don't wanna compare you to a theremin, but there was a theremin-like feel
ooh,
that
thank
had
you.
this sort of spooky 1960s kinda like something's going down. So thank you so
I'll
much for
take it.
oh, we in fact took it, and we had a great time. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
But yeah, any sort of lessons learned from you from the experience, or any suggestions for us?
Oh gosh. I can't think of suggestions for you. I mean, lessons learned from the experience. Well, I think it's kind of like an ongoing lesson being learned as I have been to a few Folk Alliance and now this NERFA, and I'm registered for the forthcoming NERFA, is just you really can't, like, it's impossible to do and see everything and connect with everyone that you want to connect with, right?
Yeah,
And so I've just been reminding myself after those experiences that kind of there is a necessary go with the flow thing, that needs to happen aside from sort of your expectations or your desires of making connections and all that type of thing. So I think that's always a beneficial thing for me, and for any others who plan on attending to fold into your
yeah,
brain. It's
I
that it's
like that.
impossible to do it all, and that's
I
okay.
like that. One of the things that I don't know if you were there, able to be there for Chris Matthews' keynote when she gave it,
Yes,
but
I was. I
she had a
was
fan
screaming in the back, in
it
the back. I
it
was
was one hell
screaming.
of a keynote, wasn't it?
It was amazing.
Um, she had a line that, like, I remember I was standing next to Justin Nordell at the door as we were moving people on
Mhm.
and off stage, and Chris said something along the lines of, "Your first NERFA is wonderful practice for your second."
Totally.
And he turned to me and he's like, "We're quoting her and putting that on a T-shirt." but there's truth.
True. It's true. And
So
your second is preparation for your third, I'm sure.
true, true. I'm oh gosh, I am. So 2008, I am
Yeah.
16 straight years essentially of NERFA, and each one of them feels
Amazing.
like a whole different experience. But thank you so
Yes.
much for being part
Yeah.
of it, and thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here tonight.
Thank you.
Your upscaled version of the video goes live tomorrow on the
Okay.
NERFA channel
Great.
at 6 p.m. And I believe in the description, I've got to get Ariel Silver's link in there, but I believe in the description, if people want to, they can go in and actually set a reminder on the videos for when they go live.
Oh, that's great.
And I have pointed them to your YouTube channel on
Thank
those,
you.
and your Instagram and all that fun stuff. So
Thank you so
please
much.
support Youth in Roman Field, Claire Wellen. And
Thank you.
we'll see you
Great to
soon.
see you.
Great to see you. Catch you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Um, so we're going to play Ariel Silver's video next. But before we do that, sneaking in right at 7:25, we've got the last band that we're going to be running tonight had very short windows where they could pop up and say hi. And I told them that we'd be done with the first video at about 7:25, and they literally just appeared backstage. So I want to welcome quickly up front, say hi to my buddies, the Scooches, Dina and Nick.
Hello,
Hey,
it's so good to
Ethan.
be here.
Thanks for being here. And sorry, the timing was sort of fun in moving stuff around, but I
No,
appreciate
it's all
you guys
good.
coming in.
Yeah.
I loved in my head, and I should have sort of thought more of it when we extended to you guys sort of the EPK opportunity. In my head, I was really thinking of the two of you. And
yeah.
as you saw, that room was really sort of set up with a left-right mic, and then you popped in with 4 people and you set up a whole semicircle. We were like, okay. I was told, from a video editing perspective, you guys provided one of the most unique challenges in a wonderful way, but I really love the way it came out. And thanks for pushing us to keep learning and doing stuff. How was the experience for you guys?
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, we love, we're like a family band because Miles is my brother from another. We go way back, and Harvey Wirt and I know each other forever. So it was super cool. The videographers were great. The NERFA videographers were just so wonderful. They were so cool.
Paul Hicks was the cinematographer. I think I said this at an earlier watch party, but he was sort of a friend of a friend recommendation. He teaches cinematography at a small college in central Pennsylvania. He knows his stuff. He's a professional. He had never really encountered our kind of music before. And he told me over, I think it was 4 times during the recording, while he was recording people, he was crying, openly crying in the recordings because he was so touched. So it was really nice to create this whole troop of people to support doing this project, both the formal showcases where we had Stefan Hannigan step in with his just absolutely crazy, 7 cameras like he had them literally strapped to pipes in the ceiling, to what Paul was doing in the EPK room, Matthew Raymer coming in and continuing to do the audio mastering for all of these projects for multiple years in a row. It just really was sort of a wonderful culmination of predominantly volunteers coming to make sure that we're making people look great and sound great. And you guys basically take care of the sound great, and you look pretty good. We just needed to make sure we didn't lose anything in translation.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to seeing how it all turned out. It
Yeah.
was such a fun experience.
Well, I am super excited for it. I believe in the video description on YouTube, there's a link to your video that's going live. The 4K version is going live the last Thursday of the month. But people can go in and set up notifications. They can also, I added the link to your YouTube station because I think people should be subscribing to your YouTube station. And I think I have your Instagram in there. I tried to get everything for you, but
thank you so
thanks
much
for being part of it, guys.
Yeah, of course.
My pleasure.
All right, I'm gonna I'm going to say goodbye to you guys, and we're going to go to Ariel's stuff, and we'll play your stuff at the end. But thank you so much for popping in and being here. It's great to see you.
Thanks, Ethan.
Great
Thank you
to see
so
you.
much. Great to see you too.
Great to see you. Catch you soon.
Catch you soon.
All right. And with that, we're going to get Ariel Silver up there. I've known Ariel for a good period of time. She and I went to the same college at pretty close to the same time, even though we never met, but we got a lot of sort of shared DNA. So it was really fun to be able to present her. And without any more words from me, here's Ariel Silver.
What would you take if your world was on fire? Right in the wind on a tinder of leaves, flames flying in like an enemy fighter, sunrise in red. Tell me, what would you grieve? When you're burned down to the bedrock, when you're scraped down to the coals, when everything you thought you knew is changing, when you feel the devil fighting for your soul. Flask of whiskey, stash of hot letters from a lover that you should have long forgot. When your tidal waves of tears turn to laughter, that's when you know it comes down. Down, 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 down to what really matters. What really matters. Smoke screens and daydreams don't help when you're running. Blooms live to heaven, the rest of your home falling like snow. You're an angel in ashes, chimneys and tree bones and churchyard stones. When it comes down to the bedrock, everything that you've known is shattered glass in the doorways. When you're wrestling with an angel for control, flask of whiskey, stash of hot letters from a lover that you should have long forgot. When your tidal waves of tears turn to laughter, that's when you know it comes down. Down, 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 down to what really matters. What really matters. No, no flask of whiskey, stash of hot letters from a lover that you should have long forgot. When your tidal waves of tears turn to laughter, that's when you know it comes down. Down, 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 down to what really matters. What really matters. What really matters. What really matters. Well, I was raised on disaster songs. My dad was a guitar strumming, folk singing fellow. And so that song is what really matters from my
album 1,000 Tiny Torches, and it was inspired by the wildfire season of my adopted home in Los Angeles, California. I tend to write about the places where I've lived, and I've lived in a lot of places, originally from the East Coast, and this next song is from my newest album, Watershed. It's the song that gave the album its name. The song is called River Dock at Sunset, inspired by an old town in Florida. On the river dock at sunset, beneath a crayon box of sky, last moments being supervised, cameras pinned us down like butterflies. We clipped flowers onto dresses, coupled off against the chill, cusp of honeysuckle summer evening, and every word we spoke full of meaning. On the river dock at sunset, the ones who taught us how to stand, reminiscing over rubber-soled shoes, wondering how we got to heels and hairdos, and constellations turn above the river that keeps flowing by. Time on earth keeps slipping by. There's a difference between keeping something safe and helping it grow. On the river dock at sunset, through the lens of passing years, half between leaving and lingering, we try to learn how to love without worrying, and constellations turn above the river that keeps flowing by. Time on earth keeps slipping by. There's a difference between keeping something safe and helping it grow. Helping it to grow. On the river dock at sunset, along the worn and weathered boards, nothing's meant to stay, but still, letting go is the hardest drill. Constellations turn above the river that keeps flowing by. Time on earth keeps slipping by. There's a difference between keeping something safe and helping it to grow. Moments like the waves of the watershed on the river dock at sunset. The river dock at sunset. And I'll leave you with this last song. This is actually the last song off of my new album, Watershed. I flew over the country, came to the East Coast. I've been on the road for a couple of weeks now, and collecting sand along the Atlantic beaches that I've been traveling up in the Cape and down on the Jersey Shore, and I guess I'm just trying to bottle up a little bit of my old East Coast roots before I fly back home. This is a song called Bottle Up Tonight. One part alabaster moon, one part rustling old raccoon, one part whispers of a breeze, one part heady jasmine bloom, one part lonely night bird tune. apart two heartbeats. Might we make an apothecary potion? Or bottle it like Napa wine? Might we capture all we left unspoken? Cork it up for future delight. Whatever time might hold, whatever fate unfolds, forget all that we can't control. But let's bottle up tonight. Spotlight of a street lamp beam, shadows dancing in between. Familiar as an old refrain. All the stories of the past, the future ones, they come too fast. Off the edges of the frame. Might we make an apothecary potion? Or bottle it like Napa wine? Might we capture all we left unspoken? Cork it up for future delight. Whatever time might hold, whatever fate unfolds, forget all that we can't control. But let's bottle up whatever time might hold, whatever fate unfolds, forget all that we can't control. But let's bottle up tonight. Thank you so much for listening.
Ariel,
Ethan,
how the heck are you? Where the heck are you?
I'm in Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, where are you?
I am in Newbury, Massachusetts, where I live.
I think I've seen this room before.
It is a Zoom famous room, I suppose. But thank you for being part of this year's project. How
my
was
gosh.
it for you?
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me to do that video and to just be a part of it. It was really great. I so loved, I just, it's so funny. I'm out here in Los Angeles and, involved with Far West over here. And then I went across the country and popped into NERFA and just felt like, oh yeah, like I know half of the room. This is really great. It was so lovely. Yeah.
There's, you have sort of this bi-coastal thing where so much of your DNA is really on the East Coast.
Totally.
Even
Absolutely.
though LA is unquestionably your home now, it's nice feeling for at least me, feeling like you're the relative from California that comes back for Thanksgiving.
Yes, that's exactly right. Except I wouldn't go back to my relatives for Thanksgiving, but Passover in a couple of weeks.
True, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have Thanksgiving in my family is a bit of a thing, and
Oh,
for what it's
yeah.
worth, I'm very lucky because I know, not everyone has the relationship with their family where going back for holidays is a welcome experience. But it's one of my favorite things in the world. And pre-COVID, the smallest Thanksgiving we'd ever had was 45 people.
Oh my gosh.
And one
Well,
year, I think we broke 110. So I think that's why NERFA feels so homey to me.
hmm.
It's just seeing the folks that you've only seen,
Mm.
a couple times a year. But got some nice comments from Jessica Smucker coming in about your
Aw.
video.
Thank you,
But
Jessica.
yeah, it
But I just want to say I have seen that Thanksgiving, a recent Thanksgiving photo, I guess maybe from last year, or something of your family, and um, it was such a lovely photograph. It was just like, oh yes.
it's an interesting thing because I have photos of the family gathering for Thanksgiving going back to 1907. Literally every year. And
Wow.
it's kind of like music DNA because you see every couple generations there's someone that doesn't really look like other folks, but 2 generations later that same
Hmm.
person will come back again. So
Hmm.
like, we're Scottish, we're red faced, we've got a lot of sort of this complexion, but my brother is pale, lanky, tall, very straight, dark hair. And you
Hmm.
can see someone like him appears every 20 to 30 years in those photos that looks very much unlike everyone, but also clearly sort of
Huh.
given the history as part of it. And I don't know, to me, that is an
Hmm.
analogy for the way music works, where you can hear the musicians that feed people that influence them,
Hmm.
sort of coming generation after generation in lines. And I can certainly hear that in a lot of the stuff you do.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's, I think about that in terms of like, um, with music, but also just with friends that come in and out of our lives, and how we carry forward, I don't know, like a mannerism that we picked up from them, or a word, or we tell a story that they told us once. And I guess that's right too with music, the way that we carry that lick or that lilt in our voice, or the particular way that we write a lyric or something like that, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I
I
love
talked
that.
I talked a little bit to Claire well in Youth in Roman Field, who started off the night. And I think what I found so striking about her is I remember, for at least in my memory, you can tell me if you think I'm off, but I remember when loop pedals started appearing in our scene. It was about 15 years ago,
Mm,
and it was really sort of the gimmick thing that was used for a song to
mm,
sort of do something. And it's interesting to see now there are acoustic artists. You look at Ed Sheeran does
mm,
30,000 person shows with just a loop pedal and his guitar.
mm.
And it's interesting to see how sort of the compounding experience of that stuff just adds to itself.
Yeah, makes me feel like maybe we need to be compassionate when the next thing comes around that we think is a gimmick. It's like people are playing with a new idea, and seeing, trying it on, like, does this fit? Does this not fit? And some people are gonna decide, yeah, that was a fun exercise, but that doesn't fit for me musically. And other people are going to carry it forward and, turn it into something totally new. I've never gotten into the looping pedals myself. I feel like I'm a classically trained woodwind player, and I feel like my relationship with looping pedals is similar to my relationship with metal instruments, like, or like I shouldn't say metal instruments, because obviously the acoustic guitar has
The
metal on
brass,
it,
yeah.
but yeah, like I loved playing clarinet and oboe. I loved like the woodiness and the reediness of it. But when I picked up a saxophone, I was like, it's too metallic, and I sort of felt like that with a looping pedal. As well. I'm like, there's something about just the organic sound being created right there for myself that I really that I really love. But I love hearing other people and what they do with the looping pedal. I think it's cool the way they can orchestrate and arrange multiple layers.
And along those
Yeah.
lines, I think sort of one of the magical parts about the folk scene in general is the fact that there really is a place for all the instruments and all of the different gimmicks and all the different things, because it is, as you sort of wonderfully stated, what might feel like a gimmick today might become an entire genre down the line, might become an entire way
Totally.
of sort of approaching it.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you so much for being here. I think you have a show
Yeah.
tonight, right?
I do. I have a show. Well, it was funny sitting here backstage in StreamYard waiting for our conversation, but I'm backstage at the venue. So I was like, wow, I'm in 2 backstages at the same time. I was sort of tripping out on that for a minute.
Backstage inception.
Yeah. But I'm out here in Arizona for the week playing shows
Awesome.
tonight in Tucson. And then next week I fly to the East Coast. I'll be on the East Coast for a few weeks playing shows. So
Nice.
yeah.
Where are you going to
Yeah.
be?
I'm playing a house concert in Chelsea, Mass. I think that's the closest I'm getting to you, but I'll also be on the Cape at Wellfleet Preservation Hall, and down in Plymouth, Mass, and then New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. A lot of the people that I cross paths with in the NERFA Far West FAI farm worlds. So yeah.
Well, I will go check your website at arielsilver.com.
That's right.
Make sure I know when and where you're going to be. But also, I just want to thank you as someone that's also part of the regions for all the good work you're doing in Far West. It is not an easy job. This is I think watching, as I felt watching these organizations over the last 5 to 6 years really sort of come into their own through the pandemic and figure out how they really wanted to establish themselves. It's been really wonderful working with you.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed working with you too, Ethan. And thank you for the inspiration as well.
Always. Thank you for the mutual admiration. I appreciate going back and forth. I will let you get back to being singularly backstage. And we're going to move over to Terry Kitchen's video. And thanks so much for being here. Your video premieres in 4K on not this Thursday. Is it this Thursday? Yeah, it is this Thursday. On Thursday at 6 p.m.
Amazing.
But yeah, we'll make sure that the link is we'll put the link in the description of this video, and make sure that it's in all of our socials over the next couple of days, because we're really proud of the job you did. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Ethan. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Catch you soon. Bye. All right, now we're going to go with our friend Terry Kitchen, who I have listened to play music for well over 20 some odd years, and it was really wonderful having him. So here's Terry.
I used to love summer, especially the storms. Wash everything cleaner than it was before. But I was a child then, and my world has changed. Now it's all thunder without any rain. I don't talk about it, the forever fight, the blinding white desert, the diamond cold night, the clench in your belly that always remains, the blast of hot thunder without any rain. thanks for your service. The civilians all say I'm still in the battle as they walk away. So I reach for a needle to tamp down the pain and quiet the thunder without any rain, and quiet this thunder and pray for the rain. My father used to drive me crazy, the slowest dad in the history of the world. He wouldn't turn the key till our seatbelts were fastened. At yellow lights, he'd let the other guy go first. How I'd fidget in my little leg pinstripes as the ball burned a hole in my glove. He'd say, Terry, what's the rush? You'll get there soon enough. Pretty sure I was the last virgin, well, in the whole state of Ohio. Well, friends would tell their tales of all their conquests. I'd just nod and smile. Well, thank God I found my own girlfriend, but she whispered, you can't hurry, love. Sweet baby, what's the rush? We'll get there soon enough. Now life keeps going faster and faster. The memories keep piling up. I've got a list of things to do that's half a mile long, but what's the point if all I do is check them off? My best friend caught some bad news. His T-cells ain't keeping up the fight. We used to run the bases in Little League. Now he's limping into home plate. These days he's enjoying each sandwich, each friendship too long out of touch. 'Cause really, what's the rush? We'll get there soon enough. Soon enough. Soon enough. Soon enough. I've got one more for you guys. I'm going to close with a tune that I probably first heard on the Woodstock album when it was sung by Richie Havens. But it goes back a lot farther. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, and sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Such a long, long way from my home. Sometimes I live like a feather that's blowing. Well, sometimes I live like a feather that's blowing. Sometimes I live like a feather that's blowing. Such a long, long way from my home. Sometimes I wish that I'd never been born. Yes, sometimes I wish that I'd never been born. Well, sometimes I wish that I'd never been born. Such a long, long way from my home.
Terry,
Ethan,
how was it? How was it for you?
oh, it was fun. You know, I hadn't gotten a chance to see the footage before, so it's, you know, kind of fun.
It was one of those things where we were trying to figure out sort of the best way to do it, um, as far as letting people see it ahead of time and talking about it that way, or just sort of being a surprise. And the first watch party we did, um, I shared it with most of the people there ahead of time, and I got these wonderful immediate reactions, and I was like, well, this is what we should be showing. um, but I was really happy to get get a chance to be part of the EPK project, and I was really happy when I got the footage back, and hope you enjoyed it as well.
Oh, thank you. It was, it was really fun to be a part of, and I had made sort of a last minute decision to make it this year, as you know, so I wasn't on the original list. So, I hope the person who canceled didn't have like emergency surgery or something, but I appreciate the spot. I'm going to ask a real quick technical question. I'm hearing me twice and hearing you twice. I don't know if there's something I can do on this end.
Only hearing you once here. My guess is it
Okay.
might be because you have the YouTube video open somewhere.
Perfect. That did it. You're a genius.
No, I'm not a genius. I've just made that mistake a bunch of times. So it's like most IT people, I am simply good at diagnosing problems because I have made those mistakes. There's some bad line in there about the best morticians are bad doctors, but that's besides the point.
Well, mistakes are not the only way to learn. I will say that.
Some of us just use them predominantly.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you the second song that you played. I really like that tune, and I believe I heard you play it. Was that wasn't written about about any artists that we might both know from the Boston area? Was it?
Not specifically. It's called Get There Soon Enough, you
Yeah.
know, and has some different stages of growing up in it. But then it comes around to the last verse of, you know, about losing a friend to cancer. And I do quote an artist that we probably both know, Warren Zevon, who's one of my all-time favorite songwriters,
Yeah.
who shortly before he passed away of cancer, he said, you know, he was making it a point to enjoy every sandwich, which just seemed like, you know, we all have to go sometime. So we really need to do what we can to appreciate the time that we have and make the most of it, and enjoying something as simple as a sandwich. Or this past Saturday afternoon was the first nice spring day in Boston, and we got out in the backyard and, you know, got to like do a little gardening work and that sort of stuff. And it's, you know, kind of low key and pedestrian and homey, but it's like it's what makes life good, you know, all those little things adding up. So I think it's really important to not get overwhelmed by the things that we can't avoid, you know, that we all have to face, but, you know, still appreciate, you know, all the little things along the way.
Yeah, and it's also a very classic sort of folk message, which is, you know, be grateful for what you have and where you are. And I really appreciated that tune.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Any sort of stories of the experience? Was this your second NERFA back in Asbury Park, or was this your first one?
Yeah, this was my second time down in Asbury Park, and it was so much fun to be there. All of the major, you know, girlfriends and now my wife were all major Bruce Springsteen fans. So it was really fun to, you know, to get to hang out at the Stone Pony where, you know, the E Street Band had did their early gigs, and just walk them down on the beach. And I was in a round, one of the late night rounds at NERFA, and the person next to me in the circle did the Bruce Springsteen song Sandy, you know, 4th of July, about being on the beach. And it was just perfect, you know, so you couldn't ask for more. So it's going to be fun to be up in Portland, Maine this coming year. Not as far away from home for us Boston types, which is where I'm coming from tonight. But you know, it's always great to travel and experience someplace new. You know, we spend, as folk singers, you know, we spend a lot of our lives, you know, in the car, you know, getting from one gig to the next. But it's really fun to have a few days in the same spot and get to, you know, walk on the beach or whatever it is. Portland has this great diner down by the ferry dock, and I'm already like, I'm already waiting for my, you know, my taste of lemon meringue pie, you know, that I know I'm going to have when I'm there.
You know, NERFA, the personality of NERFA conferences is almost always driven by the location of the conference. And I don't believe that there necessarily is good and bad, but it certainly creates a different atmosphere and a different feeling. And I think one of the things that I underappreciated until we were down in Asbury is being in a space that has music in the DNA of the area that you're in, and knowing that there was, you know, an instrument shop less than a half mile away, knowing that there were 5 venues within a mile and a half. And similarly to what you just said, one of the things that really has impressed me in the few times that we've gone up to Portland to check out the venue is the fact that the space itself, we've got 3 giant venues within a mile of the hotel. We've got one Longfellow, we've got State Theater, and we have this wonderful new space that I had never even heard of, whose name I'm going to blank on right now. But you know, the city is just sort of brimming with art and culture, and that's really going to be fun to sort of see what that new space brings to the conference.
And Maine also has a proud folk tradition, you know,
Yes.
and it's right on the edge of Acadian country. So you get some of that influence of the sort of the Quebec, you know, the sort of button box accordion stuff and all the sea shanties, you know, that Maine has just hundreds of miles of coastline. So, you know, it's going to be a fun mix, I think, of hearing some traditional Maine music, you know, in with what people are doing more recently. So I think it'll be a fun weekend.
And I don't know, this might be a first time sharing the information, but we have Schooner Fair is going to be joining us for
Awesome.
Wisdom of the Elders.
That's great.
to sort of talk about that. The other venue was Aura. That was the other cool venue, which if you haven't been up there, you should check it out. It's one of the weirdest, like physically one of the weirdest spaces I've ever been. It's attached to a sports bar, but it is a legitimate, fantastic music venue. But anyway, thank you so much for being part of this. Thanks for coming down.
I'm so happy to be a part of it, and appreciate all the work that you and all the NERFA volunteers have done, over the years to keep it going. And I've been going to the conference for probably over 20 years, when it used to be in the Pocono Mountains. And I'll just say some of the most fun times. I mean, it's great that you're presenting these performances, but a lot of the most fun times are just like in a hotel room after most of the people are in bed, and it's just like the hardcore songwriters who never get to play their weird songs, that they're maybe aren't appropriate to do in front of a general audience or whatever. We pull out our weird stuff and just like go all night and just hear some amazing stuff that you never get to hear anyplace else. And so it's really a great experience. So thank you so much for keeping it going.
Well, my pleasure. I said it last night in the community meeting. I very much owe the career that I had in music to NERFA and the ability to do that. And we're chatting earlier. I think Claire Wellen and I were chatting about sort of the evolution of going to NERFA, and each time you go back, sort of learning something new about the experience and learning a new opportunity. I think if there's sort of one thing that I've realized over time is, with the exception of the don't be an asshole, I don't think there's a wrong way to do NERFA. I remember going to making the most of NERFA panel, and there was someone on the panel that said, "Now don't stay up late at night. You need to wake up and you need to go to all the panels." And I was a panelist in that Welcome to NERFA, and I was sitting there at the time being like, I've actually never been to a panel at NERFA, and most of the bookings I've done have been between 3 and 5 a.m. So, it really is. It's one of those spaces where you will find the version of NERFA that works for you when you get there.
Right. In a sense, it's kind of like the Olympics, where, some people are going to spend the entire 2 weeks watching the curling, but other people are going to be out on the ski slope or, at the ice skating rink or whatever it might be. So the late night things are fun. The panels are important, especially for people in maybe the first time they come or the first couple times they come. If there's a subject you're really trying to like master, like how to get a good live sound at a gig out of your guitar, which is a really challenging thing because we have these guitars that are hollow, and so they vibrate when there's loud sound. So how do you cope? So learning those kind of practical tips, but then also getting to network in different ways, which is it's a 24-hour thing. So you just sort of have to choose which hours you're going to let yourself take off.
That is always the challenge. It's just when will I sleep, or will I allow myself to become nonverbal by day 2 or 3 by choosing not to sleep at all. In any case, Terry, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna move on. We got 2 more artists to play, and just really great having you. And I can't wait to see you in Portland.
If all right, before. See you then. Probably Thanks before. For having me.
Like we're next to each other.
Yeah. Have a great night. Thank you.
I'll see you soon. Bye. All right, now we're going to someone that I discovered for the first time at Club Passim at their Cutting Edge of the Campfire about a year and change ago, Sandy Bailey, and she was part of a wonderful round, and I loved every artist in that round, and they're all new to me. So it was so nice that when the judges came back and they had their list of sort of the top groupings of people, she was in that list, and I got to reach out and offer this spot. So without any more talking, Sandy Bailey.
Hi, my name is Sandy Bailey, and I'm from Western Massachusetts. I'm really excited to be here at this year's NERFA, and I'm going to be playing a couple songs from my new album called Daughter of Abraham. This first song was actually inspired by a headline I read saying something like, "Moms in middle age are more connected than ever through social media, but they're lonelier than ever." Just got home from working the 9 to 5, 32 years of answering phones. I microwave
don't feel like they used to, and even my hair has gone gray on the sides. I just sit and stare. It's so easy to reach you, but this lonely heart of mine can't seem to get the message through.
So the next song I'm going to play is a title track. And I grew up in a biracial family singing gospel music in a biracial Pentecostal church. And a couple of years ago, I moved into my house that I live in Western Mass. That was built in 1765. And it's storied to be part of the Underground Railroad. And as you can imagine, I've always been inspired and haunted by those stories. People taking that long walk. And I knew I wanted to write a song to my ancestors in that house. Abraham walked in the cover of night from Carolina to Massachusetts. One last goodbye to his crying wife. He walked into the darkness. It was high crime in 1859 for a black man to be a human, with just the shirt on his back and the North Star light. He set off to know his children. He couldn't see the sun, but he was still singing his song. Light of the day, my inner flame. I am weary, guide my way. He almost forgot about the holes in his shoes when his stomach started growling. He almost forgot about the bounty hunters too when the coyotes started howling. He couldn't see the sun, but he was still singing his song. this is fun. I have one more for you. Out on the front porch with my morning coffee and my cigarettes. I'll take a couple swigs from the Magnum bottle when I'm done with this. I've got shit to do today. Put on lipstick to hide the stains. Out on the sidewalk, the people pass by two by two. Some are holding hands and smiling the way I used to smile with you. Now when we talk, don't say too much, sleep side by side, but we never touch. There's a hole in my chest, bottomless, but I fill it up when I fill up my cup. I spend all my time with a deep red wine. Then at the end of the day, I'll hide away bottles of emptiness. I thought about opening up and telling you I cried today. Then sat with you at the table for lunch and found nothing to say. Oh, sometimes I wonder what you would think if you knew how much I've had to drink. There's a hole in my chest, bottomless, but I fill it up when I fill up my cup. I spend all my time with a deep red wine. Then at the end of the day, I'll hide away bottles of emptiness.
Sandy Bailey, she is damn good, and she's in the back. She's in my backstage area, but her camera's not on, so I can't pull her up. Oh, there she is. Hey, Sandy, how
Hi.
are you?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. That was
Yeah.
great.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that you can hear. You know, I've used the phrase a couple times tonight, but that you can hear your musical DNA really throughout that performance. The gospel is there. the rock blues sort of background. There's just a whole lot there. It's really fun to sort of hear that and piece it apart a little bit.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Thanks for noticing all of it. I've been noticing all night how great your lighting is. Your camera's so clear, the lighting's great, you got the blurred background, you look good.
I am cheating. I am actually using so all of the cameras that shot the videos in that room, all of the lighting and all of the cameras that shot the EPKs are actually owned by me and my company. So given that I don't do that many shoots during the year outside of donating it to organizations like NERFA to use, I often have it just parked in my home
Perfect.
office. But it's also why I can quickly, do this and become Christmas themed if I want. But thank you for noticing. So tell me about you just released an album, did you not?
I did in August. So yeah, time flies. But yes, that's less than a year ago.
Well, people tell me I'm still new to the community, even though I've been here 30 years. So I think 7 months is still completely appropriate for saying a new record.
Totally.
So that was I was really glad. Now this was your first NERFA, I think.
My first NERFA, my first time doing anything like this. So it's been an experience. I've been learning a lot this year, and it was really quite a time.
I really enjoyed meeting you briefly at the Campfire Festival a couple of years ago. I think it was a couple of years ago. See, again, time flies. I have no idea. I have no recollection. But you were in a great round, and I was just one of the photographers there taking photos, and you had asked me if I could send them to you, and that was like the extent of our meeting. But you were fantastic, and you shared that you were just kind of jumping into the industry side of things, and it was really nice to see you apply for stuff this year and get to be part of it.
Yeah, it was really fun. I always go into new experiences with like zero expectations. I'm like, well, here we go. And it was a really great time. I got out of it exactly what I needed to get out of it, which was like, I just want to meet other musicians. Like, I don't want to feel alone, doing what I'm doing. And there was some really cool people there. So that was
there really are. It's a wonderful network. It's a wonderful community that we're part of. And, this conference in particular, I think was sort of in a lot of ways from a vibe perspective. This was the bounce back from COVID where everyone was like, I want to hug people. Like I want a human interaction. And it was really nice to be able to be part of that and to celebrate folks and invite new folks in. And I'm hoping that that's how it felt for you. And I'm really glad you got to be part of it. Do you have like a favorite moment or a favorite experience?
I think probably just like getting rowdy in the lobby, like when you don't think anybody's really looking or nobody's around. And I would just like connected, I think, with a couple of friends, and we were just like playing around. I think that was just, just singing songs. And I don't know. I'd have to like spend some time reflecting to like really give you a lot of bullet points, but just the general vibe.
That was a great answer. I'll take it. No, I was very much team lobby jam for probably the first 5 or 6 years that I went to NERFA. That was sort of the highlight of my experience, was being able to be there, because I was part of a trio where one of my bandmates played drums and the other one played accordion, and we often had to play in places without amplification. So I was already used to singing over drums and accordion. Singing over 20 people playing guitar really wasn't a problem for me.
Yeah.
So that was sort of my superpower. I imagine you probably have that superpower as well, because when you pull back, you got a set of lungs on you.
I guess I do. I was a screamer as a kid.
Some of us are still screamers. But thank you so much for being part of it, and I hope you get to join us in Portland this year, or at least consider it, because that space is going to be pretty nutty, and I think the space in Asbury Park had a lot of wonderful pros and cons to it, but sort of the lobby jam was sort of the one hard thing because it was a giant like marble room. It was an echo chamber. That was like one of the things that if everyone was quiet, we just let one person play, it probably would have been gorgeous and beautiful. But when 20 people were trying to play, it was a thing.
Yeah.
So the new space is pretty well built for that. So
Cool.
anyway,
Yeah. Portland's a great town. It's one of my favorites.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you around town. You're in West. Where are you in Western Mass?
Near Northampton.
Okay,
Everybody-
I lived in East Hampton for about 4 years.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you'll know. Yeah, I'm more in Greenfield then.
Okay, yep, no, all good. We're fellow Massachusetts brats. I
Exactly,
figured I could. It's just like when people ask me where I'm from, I say Boston, and they're
Right.
like, "Oh, I'm from Massachusetts." Then I'm like, "Oh, Salem," and they're like, "I'm from the North Shore." I'm like, "Oh, Swampscott."
Right.
It's that. It's like, all right, how specific are we gonna be? But
Yeah.
wonderful having you. Great job. Your video, the 4K version of that video goes live on the April, what day is it? 4th, 11th, 18th, April 18th. So excited for that, and just excited to have you. Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Our pleasure. Have a wonderful night.
You too.
Catch you soon. Bye. All right. Thank you for the folks that have been hanging out with us all night. We are going to close with our friends, the Scooches, who they jumped in to say hi earlier. So we're probably not going to do a interviewee thing at the end. But again, if you are a musician or you work in the music industry, whether whatever that means to you, please check out nerfa.org for information on what we do all year round. We run everything from peer groups to community events to songwriting competitions to our conference, and would love to hear from you. Would love for you to find a space in our area. So please feel free to reach out, and we'll talk to you and see you then. And without any further ado, we'll close the night with our friends, the
Scooches, and we are so glad to be here scooching together many diverse musical feels and styles and peoples. So this is Miles Griffith right here.
What a guan!
I'm Bettina Hershey. This is Nick Russo, and we're starting with.
And her name is Bettina Hershey.
That's right.
I know
I'm
you
the
said it already.
songwriter, and this song is called "Leavin'." It's actually about leaving our kids. We're married, headed off on a tour. It's so hard to believe in you, like I know I gotta do. Believe me, oh please believe me, I love you so. Even though I gotta go,
The road keeps calling, I keep falling. It calls me nightly, holds on tightly. Rather be with you instead of. Yes, I'm leaving. Oh, I'm leaving.
by mid-September I'll be back here. So there's nothing more to fear. I'm returning when dreams stop burning inside my mind, and I'm ready to unwind.
The road keeps calling, I keep falling. Dream ahead, it calls me nightly, holds on tightly. Rather be with you instead.
But I'm leaving.
I said I'm leaving. Yes, leaving. soon and soon and soon. Soon.
Such a pleasure to be playing with these musicians. We've known each other a really long time. Been playing in so many different ways and together. A recent concert we did was the history of jazz, which I really enjoyed because I'm playing with all these jazz masters like Miles Griffith and Harvey Wirt and Nick Russo, and you can hear it in all this play. This next tune is called Open a Door, and it's one of those tunes that I just went through a period. I often go through these periods where I say, okay, I'm going to write a song a day, and this is one that just arrived. This is perfect little bossa.
Open a door. Open a door to the place you adore. One little taste before you're erased. Open a door. Open a dream. Open a dream that seems wide and worthwhile. Reach deep inside when your dream's high. Open a dream. And though it may seem far too hard, you must stick to
hope that you are opening doors all the time. Sometimes it's hard to like grab hold of that handle and walk through. This next tune, the last tune we'll play, wrapping it up, is called Lift You Up. It's the title track of our album. Again, we're the Scooches. And I wrote this tune because just like we need to open doors for ourselves, we need to open doors for each other. Because the science about giving is really amazing. Like, if you give to yourself, you get some joy. But if you give to others, that joy lasts for days longer, maybe a week longer. If we all just really embrace that knowledge and give to each other, we give to ourselves as well. So this is what this song is about. Lift you up, because it lifts me up. It lifts we up. Every day when I wake up, I look for the sound of the hope for the future. Reach so deep, I'm ready to make my way. Falling forward, I can't help looking for
something to give, something to live, something to give you. I lift every day they say no back. Something to give, something to live, something to give you. I lift you up, I lift you up, I lift you.
every day when
Every day,
notice the feeling inside me that hurt me and guide me. I take one moment more to express what's too real, no big deal. You and me always see there's
something to give, something to live, something to give you. I lift you every day, but she lie. Something to give, something to live, something to give you. I lift you up, I lift you up, I lift you.
It's a song, it's a memory.
Well, it's a memory.
It's a way forward, it's the rain
In the name of the Gutu Jana, Scoochie.
We are the Scooches. Thanks for listening. We hope that we lifted you up.